All right, so recently I saw a couple videos, one by PawPaw's workshop on YouTube and the other by Garrett over at IDC Woodcraft. And they were both showcasing some kind of tiny hold down clamps. And I thought they looked really useful, and I thought I would design a version for my setup and share that on Maker World for anyone that might find it useful as well. So these are my Tiger clamps. I have these up on Maker World as well. I like them. They work very well. They're quite functional, and I've done a ton of projects with them. And yeah, they're pretty easy print. And if you hit them with your bit, it's not really a big deal. But yeah, these work well. But what I saw over there was these itty bitty, I think one of them calls them a edge hugger clamp, and I can't remember what the other one was. Anyway, this is my take on it. So it's a pretty low profile design. The top bit here is about 7 millimeters tall, and then this part here, the body that extends down, is customizable. So I put up some pretty common sizes: 3 mil, 7, 3, oh, I don't remember. Anyway, I put up about 4 sizes, as well as the step file for anybody that wants to make some different ones. And the idea being that it just goes on the edge of your material, like so, and you secure it down to whatever fastener you have. So in my case, I have some T-track that I'm using. And so for my setup, what I have is these T-track M5 bolts that have basically a hex head M5 bolt in it that sticks up. And I've got those in, I've got a set here of M5 bolts in various sizes. So I put these plastic printed pieces in, and then they can slide in the tracks wherever I need them, which is pretty handy. So with this setup, basically what you're going to do is you're going to, let's get this one out of the way. You're going to put a bolt in, and basically what you want is you want the bolt to be just under your material height. So I saw on IDC and on PawPaw's, they were both screwing down from the top. And the problem with that is, especially with T-track, if you have threaded inserts everywhere, that's probably not a big deal. But with T-track, when you drill from the top or screw from the top, you only have about 3 or maybe 5 mils of clearance before that bolt is going to bottom out into your T-track. So the problem is that you have to have a pretty wide range of bolts and fasteners to be able to screw from the top and make them hold. So what I found is these M5, they go by a few different names, but these are M5 either furniture bolts or Chicago bolts, I think they're also referred to as. I'll put a link to the ones I bought on Maker World so you can find something similar. But the idea is this is a barrel with M5 threads in it. This is 12 millimeters long. So it basically takes up the difference. So if I have thicker material, let's say I grab, even add this thickness, right? So if I add this thickness of material, now my bolt is going to be too short. So all I have to do is swap out the bolt. Should have had one of these ready. So you still need a variation of sizes of the bolts, but you don't have to be quite as precise as what I saw on the other videos. So if I slide this one in, you can see I'm under the material height. So now when I back this up a little bit. Doing all this one-handed is so fun. I'm just going to put it back in the mount here. Okay, so now when I put this one in and grab my Allen key, so I set it down on the bolt and screw this down. Now I get a nice solid bite onto that material. So the material is only held by about 7 inches of the clamp, or sorry, 7 millimeters of the clamp goes onto the workpiece. So you don't have a ton to worry about as far as clearance from your spindle, as well as even if you did hit it with the bit, again, not really a big deal, right? Just being 3D printed plastic. The bolt head is set back just enough that, you know, could you hit it? Sure, but you'd have to do something pretty wrong in your setup. So anything is possible for sure, but it does get the bolt out of the way of the bit for the most part. So anyway, I thought I would do kind of a fun one. So I used my 3D printer to print clamps for my CNC machine. Now I'm going to use my CNC machine to mill out something for my 3D printer. So we'll see how these clamps do. I've got a job set up, and I'll just put the camera on time lapse, and we'll see how these clamps do for this job. And like I said, I'll put the link to the Maker World file for anybody that is interested in the description of this video. So I'll get the machine set up with this job, and we'll see how these clamps do for the first try. I don't think I need 3 clamps, but hey, I have them, so why not use them? But yeah, it secures the material quite well, so I quite like that. So yeah, we'll give this a try. They're pretty simple clamps. They're pretty fast print, and so you could print out a lot of them in no time at all. So overall, I'd call that a success for the first run of these clamps, and that was only using really 2 of them. One I didn't tighten down very much, I noticed afterwards, but felt like I would just leave it, and it was fine. So yeah, overall, I am very happy with these. They're, like I said, simple to set up and get your job secured, and they are easy to print, and you can customize them to whatever size you need. Pull this one off. Pull this one off. Yeah, so they come off quite easy, but they are stuck on the project very well. Okay, so this one was a little bit down. The other thing here, I'll just bring you over. You can see just how close you can get to the clamp. You know, that's where it was. So yeah, nice that it's low profile. I did have one issue with my dust boot. That was unrelated to the clamps. It just that my TPU bristles were a little bit long. I kind of thought they were. I should have put the other bristles on, but live and learn. I was here to catch it, so not a big deal. So yeah, they pull off, the clamps pull off super easy, and we can pull up our material. A couple more pieces, and I'll get those tabs out and get this cleaned up. But overall, that's a success. And like I said, the links to the Maker World file for the clamps will be in the video description. Thanks for watching.